Hi, it's Lonnie. Welcome to Grace Blossoms for You. Today I'm coming at you with two hashtags. The main one is hashtag ephemera prompts 2025, hosted by at Gigi Hannah and at the Shabby Hippie. The Shabby Hippie, sorry. And the prompts for October are magazine and index cards. So I have this idea that I want to try. Well, I've already tried it. This is attempt number 3, you're going to see. Also, I want to do hashtag Deck the Year 2025, and that's hosted by Penny at Penny's Crafty Creations. And what we do there is alter index cards, or playing cards, or time cards. All right, so I need these to be sturdier. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is grab some book page. And I'm going to glue them down. And then I will cut them out. Just checking to see if I was actually filming because I've already done this numerous times. And yeah, it's one of those days. All right, be right back. All right, so I didn't want all the lines to show either, so that's why I put the book page over top of the lined section. So now I have two that are pretty much white. And then I'm going to cover at least one of them with the magazine page. And I picked this page. I think I'm going to use that section right there. So I'm going to do this one even more different than I did the last couple. This seems to be an evolving project. So let's see what happens. Again, I need glue for the whole thing. I want to make sure I get it in the corners and on the sides. Because I don't want it to come off in those areas. Now, I warn you, this project is fiddlier than most things that I have tried, but I think it can be cute. And then the placement of things. This one will be in landscape position. Try that. Usually I've been eyeballing everything and it's actually been okay. All right, so I'm going to cut this out. This time I think I'm going to ink it. Okay, so this one with the picture on it is going to be the front of the card, if I can say it like that. Get that out of the way so we don't get blinded. All right, so then what I want to do is make this piece so that it slips behind. And that means I'm going to need a slit in this piece here. So I'm going to grab my metal ruler and my craft knife. So I want to leave 1/2 inch on top and on the bottom, and a little bit more than 1/2 inch between the side and the actual slit there. So then, if I line it up to these lines, I can see where the 1/2 inch is, and then kind of get it straight. So I'm going to cut from on this line here, so down this way, and I'm going to start at this line and I'm going to stop at this line. So here goes. Like that, hopefully. Okay, that's not bad. Then this piece, I'm going to trim a little bit off the edge. In fact, I'll just do that with my scissors. And I will, doesn't really matter which side. If you do a bad job, you can turn it around. Mine wasn't perfectly straight, so I will do it with this side. So then we have to fit this page in here. So what that is going to entail is cutting off some parts here. And I'm going to draw this so that you can actually see what I'm doing here. So we want to cut out a section like so, and then that way, and the same thing on this side. We can do just a smidge more than 1/2 inch because we need it to fit through that slit. So roughly there. Excuse my voice, I've already, well, I thought I was filming. Turns out I wasn't again. I'm getting pretty sloppy with that, so I don't really know what the answer is. Try and get that straight. Alright, so now it's time to see if it actually will work. So there we go. Now, if you'll notice, the picture carries on to the back, like so. It's not going to show pretty much most of the time, but that's okay. Now for this section here, that is currently white, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to cover that up, but I also want to ink this edge here, I think. Still very thin. Maybe what I'll do is cover up the whole piece. Okay, I'm just going to cover it up with some coffee dyed paper. So I'm going to glue it and then I'm going to trim it and then I'll be back. Okay, like that. So that will line up, and I'm going to ink this. And I'm going to ink this a little bit more over here. Okay, so there's our picture. So then what I want to do, just so that this is a little more secure and a little prettier, I'm going to put a closure type thing over here. Just going to take half of a label and I need to make sure that this is all the way in, like so. And then I'm going to attach this to this part here. What I'm also going to do is take just a sliver off of this piece so that it doesn't get glued down in the process. Okay, so just right about there, and then just on the very edge. Right there, and then I have to hold it so that it doesn't give out. We want it to stick. There's a couple other things I'm going to do also while I'm here. I need a tab for pulling that will work, and I need some kind of a stopper in the back, probably 2 of them. And let's see, what do I want? I like the hat. And I like that saying. Okay. So the tab will go over here. Just on this piece. Like so. Make sure it's just attached to that piece, otherwise you won't be able to remove the insert. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so back on this side, I want to make sure this is all the way in again. Now I need some stoppers on the insert so that when we pull it out, it doesn't get pulled out all the way. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing, but that's what I've decided to do. So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue in the corners of the insert on the back. And then I'm going to glue them down. Obviously, you can use whatever you have that you would like. So the part that's going to stop the insert from pulling all the way out is this piece here on each side. I don't know if it's completely dry yet, but also we want to make sure that it's not glued down. There we go. So that should work. I'm going to just lift that up a tiny bit so that it goes in there easier. Alright, so that should do that part. Now, I kind of feel this is a little bit plain. It's grabbing my music stamp. And maybe do that. That didn't do anything at all. What happened there? There we go. And then that side. Okay, so that has some more music on there. So the other cards I made have a theme. One was birthday. The other one had to do with growth. So this one, as you can see, it's still blank on the inside. And I think I need something more on the front here yet. Maybe I want a little more lace. I think that would look nice. And then a word yet. So like cute little lace trim here. Okay, I want the word botanical. And I got these words again at the Creative Codes Patreon page. They were free. And that's a big thank you to Michelle at the Creative Cove. Okay, so then that got away on me. I think I need to just bend this a bit more. There we go. And bend the whole thing a little bit so that it gets in there easier. Maybe I'll put this over here after I ink. Yes, I don't remember now if I asked you how you were all doing. But I hope you're well. Hope that you're having a great day. And now I need to put something on the inside. And I don't know if this is technically true, what I'm going to write in here, but many years ago when I was on my own and I worked for a German man who had lots of experience with gardening. He was from Germany, and he had much wisdom to give me, as well as he gave me a large variety of plants to plant for my first flower garden. And he said something that always stuck with me, and that was, plant it in mud and it will grow. So those gardeners out there, you can tell me, is that true or not true? I'm going to add that in here as a quote. Try to get it straight. So I'm not even gonna just do it in pencil first. I'm just going to grab my black pen. All right, so quote, plant it in mud and it will grow. And his name was Walter Mead. He passed away many years ago now, but he was very kind to me. All right, so that will go in there. All right, there we have it. And I have the two other ones that I made that I can show you. If you're still watching, I hope you got something out of this today. Let's see, the first one I made, this one. And somehow this one doesn't want to stick in there. I wonder if I cut too much off. It'll be fine. Okay, so the first one I made was this one. It's a birthday card for my husband. It's a picture of a duck, and it says quack, 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 quack. There's no ducking around it. It's your birthday. Hope it's a hoot. Ow, get it? So that's my birthday card to him. Now, I put washi tape on these edges, and I did not put as much like backing on these ones, except for the insert. I did back it more. So they're not all the same. Some of them have little bits different, the same general idea, but I think there's enough wiggle room that you can make this to your liking. Okay, so that was the first one I did, and I thought it worked out all right. And then I did this one, thinking I was recording. This one is landscape, and this one is vertical. So there's the magazine page. This one I used a digital because it was my prototype. So here's a magazine page, and blooming is the result of growth. In other words, we like to focus on the blooming, but the behind the scenes is what actually gives us good results. So that's why I put the word patience on the front of it. Now this lace looks pretty there, but it was actually there to cover up a slight mistake that I made when I glued the magazine down, and that was I had an edge that was kind of white showing. So I did think to put the lace there, and that was a good thing because I think it looks really pretty. So again, with the washi tape, and then this one I backed both pieces with book page. And I don't know, kind of hard pressed to say which one I like most now. but there you have it. That's what I got for you today. Hope you like that. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.